Joining us right now is Judicial Watch Director of Investigations and Research, Chris Farrell. Chris, good to see you. Thanks so much for weighing in this morning. What's your take on all of this?
Well, you know, I've known Steve Bannon for years, and Steve Bannon has always been all about Steve Bannon, so I'm not terribly surprised. I don't think anyone who knows him would be surprised that he'd do this sort of tell-all after-the-fact book. But I do think it does a great disservice to the president, and I have a hard time reconciling his conduct in the administration versus his conduct out of the administration. And, of course, all of that is bound by a non-disclosure agreement, which has very strong language. So the cease and desist letter I would take quite seriously. I don't think the president is somebody who kind of throws that language around recklessly, and it appears that Mr. Bannon has. So this is a pretty serious feud. The president, of course, just based on all the circumstances and conditions that we have, he'll win this. So it's a head-scratcher. I don't understand what Steve Bannon thought he was going to accomplish by doing this. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Chris, hi, this is Jason Chaffetz.
Hey, Jason.
Steve Bannon is only supported by the money that he can raise. I can't see anybody out there in the political landscape, given that you saw that smiling face from Mitch McConnell when he put out his tweet, and then you also now have the president with one of the strongest statements. Who is going to actually financially back Steve Bannon at this point?
You know, I'm sure there's somebody out there, but there's a larger question about the presidency, the success of Mr. Trump, what he's trying to accomplish, law and order questions, and for Mr. Bannon to throw around words, assuming this is all true, of course, right? There's a lot of
that's true.
speculation.
That's a good point.
There's a lot of speculation here and a lot of, reports say. I don't know what that really means. But anyway, the use of the word treasonous is not a yellow flag. That's a red flag. This is very reckless language. And so I think everyone needs to take a deep breath.
Yeah. Good.
No, I was just going to say one thing about Steve Bannon, Chris, is that I said at the top of the show, the death knell of his political power, if you will, should have been, and it looks like it was the Alabama Senate race with Roy Moore. He got behind a man before the revelations about sexual misconduct with young women, got behind a man who was a bad candidate, who'd been removed from the state Supreme Court twice for defying legal court orders. So he put all his money on that one guy and lost in a bright red state. He was going after trying to dismantle the GOP as we know it, planning to run candidates in primaries against GOP incumbents in the Senate in the midterms coming in November. So I just think that this is just grasping at straws and searching for that hot spotlight.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Steve has always been all about Steve. And, look, these internal battles within a party are not necessarily even a bad thing. I think it's kind of healthy to air differences and kind of sort out who's who and what's what. That's a fine thing. I don't see that there's necessarily a problem there. But attacking the president and his family in the way that we've seen now, how many times has Mr. Trump been declared, dead on arrival? Well, there's like 17 Republicans who he left in the dust, and Mrs. Clinton, of course, is back in Chappaqua or wherever she is. So, the people that say, oh, this is the end, don't buy it.
Chris, I want to switch gears here. We got to talk about the corruption and the collusion at the top of the FBI and its leadership there. Yesterday, we know that we have news that Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein and FBI Director Chris Wray met with House Speaker Paul Ryan to talk about the House Russia investigation. This comes as the House and the DOJ reached a deal late last night to acquire documents relevant to Fusion GPS. The House panel reportedly issuing subpoenas to Wray and Rosenstein back in August with the deadline of yesterday to hand over those materials. They were supposed to hand them over in September, then a new deadline tomorrow. What's your take on what's going on now that we know so many people at the top of the FBI and the Department of Justice were in the tank for Hillary Clinton, and they were protecting even the criminality that we saw around her email scandal?
Well, the underlying question, of course, is answered by the fact that Mrs. Clinton is a national security criminal. I'm a former special agent of Army counterintelligence. I've investigated and prosecuted cases dealing with mishandling of national defense information. And so I'm not guessing at this. I've done it for a living. With respect to the show yesterday, and it was a show, you know, this was a really incredibly disrespectful to Mr. Nunes. Look, he's the chairman of the Intelligence Committee. He's the one who subpoenaed the documents and the testimony. And, you know, the fact that he was excluded from the meeting and the FBI director and Mr. Rosenstein go to talk to the speaker, in my opinion, that is not a good sign. They may have reached some sort of agreement about production or testimony, but when they deliberately exclude the chairman of the committee who's asking the questions, guess what? There's a real problem. And it speaks not only about the problem with DOJ and the FBI, but frankly, that the speaker would do that to Mr. Nunes very publicly. It's not a confidence builder.
But what's going to be done about this? I mean, we also know, Jason Chaffetz, we were just talking during the commercial break, that now we know that the email staff, the staffer at the email company that actually bleached, what they do, they BeachBlit.
Yep.
All her emails. I mean, he deleted emails. Then he lies to the FBI. They say, did you delete emails? No. He lies under oath, Jason. And now he admits, yes, I did delete all of these emails. And he gets immunity.
Remember, that part of the case is a closed case. There's absolutely no reason every document shouldn't be turned over to Judicial Watch as well as the United States Congress, but they still haven't done it, have they? Well,
Jason, you'll recall that, you know, and we've obviously had a relationship in the past with respect to looking into these matters. If it weren't for Judicial Watch's litigation, the public wouldn't even know about this issue.
That's right.
The email server itself was a fraud on the court. The State Department told the U.S. District Court here in D.C., hey, no more documents until we forced them to admit that there were.
Yeah. Chris, thank you very much, and great work at Judicial Watch. Appreciate you joining us this morning. Chris Farrell will be watching this, obviously.